Hello, librarians, educators, and booksellers, and all of you viewers joining us today for the Scholastic Online Preview. I'm Lizette Serrano, and I'm excited to introduce the picture book section of our Fall 21 season. We have new books coming from Peter H. Reynolds, Brian Collier, powerhouse duo Andre and Brian Pinckney, Carmen Agrediti, and many more. And also, I Survive author Lauren Tarshish is making her picture book debut. But first, I want to share a healing exploration of loss by first-time picture book author Jocelyn Lee Legrand, If You Miss Me. Charlie loves to dance her way through life with her grandma. They may not always be together, but each time they part, Grandma says, "If you miss me, look at the moon." This book tenderly reminds us that the people who mean the most to us are always with us. Now, let's hear from our authors.
Hi everyone, I'm Lauren Tarshish and I write the I Survive series, but I'm here today because I have written a picture book with my dear friend Lisa Mezoff, who is an amazing artist.
It is not really a book about nose picking.
It's really about self-acceptance and unconditional love and having dogs or people in your life who love you no matter what, even when you're not perfect.
We worked on it for about a year together and enjoyed every minute of our collaboration.
We did, and we can't wait to share it with you and to get this into readers' hands.
Hello, my name is Brian Collier, and I'm the illustrator of the brand new book that we're celebrating called We Shall Overcome. Now, I know you know that anthem, but I reimagined it in a different way. I took a little girl in a yellow dress and we went for a walk. And in the book, you'll see pages that are in color as well as in black and white. Because what I tried to do is bring together the past and the present so we understand where we've been, so we'll know where we're going. And this little girl is leading us all the way through. Then the last shot is of the little girl holding up this little petal with a peace sign. If you saw that peace sign at the end, then in the very beginning, when this little girl's getting dressed and sitting on her bed, there's a peace sign on the bed too. So it was always about peace. Now, I hope you thoroughly enjoy this book.
Hi, I'm Andrea Davis Pinckney. Welcome to the Bright Brown Baby Publishing Program, written by me and illustrated by my husband and frequent collaborator, Brian Pinckney. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Andrea.
The Bright Brown Baby Treasury and Board books are our gift to everyone who wants to show Black and Brown children how truly special they are right from the start. Hello, newborns and toddlers of color. Here is Count to Love. Bright Brown Baby is for all races, places, and faces, because no matter who you are, Bright Brown Baby reminds us that love and reading go hand in hand. And now, Brian, I'm going to kick it over to you to share your paintbrush artistry that celebrates the beautiful hues of Black and Brown families and the cuddly wonders that make Bright Brown Baby so special.
Thank you, Andrea. Well, I'm at my studio where I created the artwork for Bright Brown Baby. And I started with doing hundreds of sketches of little brown cuddlies with their parents. They look like this. My studio is full of them. And then, after I've done hundreds of sketches like this, I move to do finished artwork. Brown, beautiful browns for the brown faces. Then I had the color for the body. Now, what I really want to capture is how beautiful these brown babies are. Like this.
We hope you enjoy Bright Brown Baby.
Hello, my name's Carmen Agrediti, and my new book is called The Children's Moon. I loved working with Jim LaMarche. His luminous illustrations bring the story to life. It's a tale about the sun and the moon and a little negotiating they have to do, and how they become friends in the end. It's also about children. But if I tell you any more, it'll ruin the story. But I will tell you that as I wrote it, I kept thinking of a rhyme I loved as a little girl. Yes, I was a little girl once, back when the stones were soft. The rhyme went, I see the moon and the moon sees me. I love the moon and the moon loves me. And therein is a hint to the tale. I hope you like it.
Hi, I'm Joanna Pastro. I'm the author of Bisa's Carnaval.
Hi, I'm Carolina, and I'm the illustrator of the amazing Bisa's Carnaval.
Bisa's Carnaval follows Clara and her Bisa, her great-grandmother, through the streets of Olinda as they gather supplies and prepare for Carnaval by making costumes for Clara and her cousins. When the big day comes, everything's perfect, except Clara realizes something is missing. What could it be? Well, you'll have to find out.
So, after reading the manuscript of Bisa's Carnaval in the first paragraph, you probably get involved by the carnival spirit of Clara and her family. And it was a challenge for me to picture Carnival, actually. But at the same time, as I was always with my memories.
So I hope you enjoyed the book.
Hi, this is Peter H. Reynolds, and I am here in my studio, and I am so excited about my newest book, and it's called Our Table. And it is a fable about a family's dining room table that begins to shrink. And the only person that notices is Violet. And Violet notices that there's a connection, that the more time that her parents, her mom and dad and brother spend on their devices, the faster the table shrinks, until one day she can hold it in her hands. She blinks, and when she opens her eyes, it's gone. The family table has disappeared. And if you know my other books, I won't end on that note. I end on a positive note. And of course, I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but Violet does use her creativity and her love of her family to bring her family back to the table.
Hi, I'm David Levithan, publisher and editorial director at Scholastic, and I'm so excited to be talking to you about our middle grade list for fall. We've got an amazing list that is really meeting the moment of 2021, and you're about to hear from some incredible authors telling you a little bit about the behind the scenes story of their books. So before we do that, I do want to highlight some other titles that we have that are pretty amazing. Gordon Corman is just a treasure on our list, and with his new book, Linked, he talks about hate crimes and anti-Semitism in a story that is very much needed right now. It is about a small town in Colorado where swastikas are appearing all over the town, and so the question, of course, is who is doing this, and then also how does a community come together in order to prove that they are against hate and against anti-Semitism and for finding out the truth and making sure that everybody is safe. It is a really phenomenal work which does mix Gordon's usual humor with some topics that, again, we're all talking about right now, and it's very important for us to be talking about right now. Another book I'm really excited about is The Boy Who Made Everyone Laugh by Helen Rudder. It is a debut about a boy named Billy who is a stutterer and does not really feel that he can talk in class or even outside of class, and is afraid of what other kids will do to him if they know that he stutters. And of course, because this is middle grade, it is about him understanding that he doesn't have to find a cure for his stutter, he doesn't have to become somebody he's not, but instead really has to embrace who he is and show everybody that he can be, in his case, a stand-up comic. Something completely different is from Cristina Diaz-Gonzalez, Concealed, which is a masterful mystery suspense about a girl who discovers that her life and her parents' lives aren't exactly what she thought they were. Part of the fun of the book are the twists and turns, so that's all I'm going to tell you about it, but just know there are some really great twists and turns. Another book that will keep the pages turning is City of Thieves, the first book in the Battle Dragon series by Alex London. Imagine Wings of Fire meets The Fast and the Furious. That is what Battle Dragons is. It is this amazing high-octane world where dragons and humans coexist. And there is a mystery at its core that, again, I'm not going to give away. And finally, Jennifer Nielsen gives us another False Prince book with The Shattered Castle. Again, talk about a master of twists and turns. You will not believe what you see in this 5th volume. So that is just a sneak peek of other books, but now I'm so excited to have these authors telling you about the books on our list.
Hi everyone, I'm Kelly Yang and I'm the author of Front Desk and 3 Keys, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Room to Dream, the latest book in the Front Desk series. I'm so excited about this one because after years of hard work, finally Mia Tang and her parents and Hank get to go on vacation, and they go all the way across the world to China, where Mia is reunited with her cousins and with her family. It's an incredibly exciting book. So many things are happening. So many things are changing in China, which we get to experience through Mia's eyes and through Hank's. And when they come back to Anaheim, they find that Anaheim is changing too. Mia's finally in middle school. She's still best friends with Lupe and Jason, but definitely things are happening on that horizon. I can't wait for you guys to read it. I know that after the year we've had, I don't know about you guys, but I'm so ready to go on vacation. And I hope that you'll go on vacation with me and with Mia. Thank you guys so much for reading. I'm so grateful for your support, and I can't wait to hear what you think of Room to Dream.
Hello, I am Shakira Bourne, and I'm so excited to talk to you about Josephine Against the Sea. 11-year-old Josephine knows that no one is good enough for her dad, and so she creates booby traps to scare all his dates away. She knows that by getting onto her school's cricket team will distract him from dating, but the coach says only boys are allowed to play. Then, Dad brings home a new catch, Maurice, and unlike the others, this one does not scare easily. Josephine knows there's something fishy about Maurice, but she never thought Maurice would not be human. I had so much fun writing this book. It is full of adventure and mystery and inspired by Caribbean folklore. When writing, I would come to this spot, look out at the ocean, and wonder what beautiful but dangerous things lie beneath. This story will transport you here to a small fishing village in Barbados. It has a sweet single father-daughter relationship. It addresses themes like overcoming grief, and Josephine's antics will make you laugh out loud. I hope you enjoy it.
Hi, I'm Malia Siddiqui, and I'm the author of the upcoming middle grade novel Baraka Beat. Baraka Beat is about 12-year-old Muslim girl Nimra Sharif, who transfers to public school for the first time after spending her entire life in Islamic school. Nimra figures she can take on just about anything as long as she's got her best friend Jenna. Unfortunately, Jenna starts giving Nimra the cold shoulder around the other kids. So, desperate to fit in and get back in Jenna's good graces, Nimra accepts an unlikely invitation to join her school's popular 8th grade boy band, Baraka Beats. Cue the shenanigans as Nimra navigates friendships old and new, family drama, and her own faith in an attempt to find her place at her new school. I wrote this book because I wanted to write a story with a practicing Muslim kid that represented me and my experiences growing up in the US. I hope you go out into the world and put Baraka Beats into the hands of all readers, not just Muslim kids, because being able to share and learn a different perspective is just as important as being able to see yourself in a story.
Hi, I'm Varian Johnson. I'm the author of novels including The Parker Inheritance and the graphic novel Twins, and today I'm excited to talk to you all about Playing the Cards You're Dealt. Playing the Cards You're Dealt is about 10-year-old Anthony Ant Joplin as he eagerly prepares for the big spades tournament that takes place every year at the neighborhood park. Playing and winning the tournament is a big-time Joplin man tradition, with Ant's brother, father, and grandfather winning before him. Playing the Cards You're Dealt was inspired by my father. But unlike Ant's father, my dad was really great when it came to helping me find my own path. Don't get me wrong, he certainly had opinions on how to navigate the world and what it meant to be a black man in America. But he also respected me whenever I chose a different path than what he originally envisioned. Dad passed away recently, but I'll always cherish that he taught me that the game of life wasn't just about the cards you were dealt, but it was how you played those cards and who your partner was that really determined if you win or lose. Thanks for listening. I hope y'all enjoy playing the cards you're dealt. And let me know if you're ever up for a spades game. Don't worry, I won't beat you too badly.
Hi, my name is Ralph Lazar. I'm very excited to be telling you about my forthcoming series with Scholastic called Total Mayhem. The initial series will be 5 books. Each book is one day of the week. They are adventure mystery stories with the aim of making kids laugh and getting them reading. Each book features our hero called Dash. He goes to school every day. There are a bunch of different lessons. Every teacher is someone ridiculous, preposterous, and crazy. They are lots of fun and hopefully pretty addictive. They are inspired by the relationship I have with my 8-year-old godson. During COVID, I started writing these stories for him online, publishing a new chapter every few days, and he absolutely loved them. So I'm very excited about the whole thing, and I hope you enjoy them.
Mary Lambert is back for another exciting, dangerous adventure in Set Me Free, a Show Me a Sign standalone companion novel. Mary is invited to become a tutor for a wild, young, deaf girl without communication skills who's being held captive in a mysterious manner. The two struggle but must form a bond and help each other escape and find their own paths in a world full of prejudice. I wanted to continue Mary's story for all readers, but especially deaf readers who have felt isolated during the pandemic. Thank you. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, I'm Kay Ibora. I'm a writer, an artist, and a thinker. I spend a lot of time asking big questions. Who am I? What is my purpose on this planet? Am I safe? Is my family and community safe? We ask these questions of identity, purpose, and safety all our lives, starting with the earliest years of childhood. When the World Turned Upside Down follows 4 friends, Shayla, Liam, I, and Ben, as they ask big questions and grapple with big truths. The story starts when they're sent home because of COVID. At home, their families face a range of issues brought on by the virus. Their lives are turned upside down all over again when a man is killed by the police. And these 4 friends have to decide how they're going to handle the unrest that's happening in the streets. I wrote this book to honor all that children have survived this past crazy year, as well as to take a closer look at how children make sense of issues that adults have yet to solve. I hope this book helps kids find their own voices as they ask the big questions in this world.
Hello, everybody. During the first 3 months of the pandemic, I was stuck in New York while my husband was stuck in California. Across the street from me, a family was putting up drawings their child had done of rainbows. And then one day the family put up a sign the child had made that said, "Let's make art." I thought that was pretty good advice. I began to create what at first seemed like standalone stories. They were about fear and loss, but they were also about friendship and grief and hope and love. This book is not a conventional narrative with an answer, a plot to figure out or miss out on. This is a collaboration between you and me. Whatever you think these stories are about, that's what they're about. What I see in a kaleidoscope and what you see, even though the images are made up of the same elements, the same bits of colored glass, will fundamentally change because our perspectives are different and the kaleidoscope is always moving. And I will say this, that writing these stories was really helpful to me. They were cathartic because I was able to channel my fears and worries into them. I was able to transform them and remind myself that there are always reasons to be hopeful.
Hi, I'm David Saylor, publisher of the Graphics imprint at Scholastic, and welcome to the Graphics Online Preview. I'm excited to share some wonderful books with you that will draw kids into reading, not just for the moment, but for a lifetime. First off, there's B.C. Petersmith's debut graphic novel, Amelia, Castaway Commander. This beautifully painted fantasy adventure features a strong-willed girl who takes charge of her life to become the flight commander she was meant to be. And Cat Kid Comic Club is back. Dave Pilkey has been hard at work in his studio, writing and illustrating the second book in the New York Times best-selling series. Watch out for it on November 30th. The Adventures of Nat continue in Absolutely Nat by Maria Scrivan. In the third book of this New York Times best-selling series, Natalie is trying her best to enjoy camp, but it's much more difficult than she expected. City of Dragons, The Awakening Storm by Jamal Yogus and Vivian Churong is the first book in an exciting new series and centers around a Chinese-American girl named Grace, who discovers that those wonderful stories of dragons that she's heard are all really true when she's given an egg that hatches into a powerful dragon. Next, there's Animorphs, The Visitor by K.A. Applegate and Michael Grant, illustrated by Chris Grine, the second graphic novel in the incredible Animorphs sci-fi fantasy series about kids who shapeshift into animals to defeat an alien invasion. Finally, we have Banana Fox and the Book-Eating Robot by James Kachalka, book 2 in the hilarious Banana Fox series for younger readers, which is part of our graphic chapters line, featuring easy-to-follow paneling created especially for second and third graders to encourage emerging readers. And stay tuned to hear more about our graphic novel adaptation of The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids by Academy Award-winning artist Pearl Lowe. And we have the winner of the Get Published by Graphics contest, Kelly Fernandez, to tell us about her debut graphic novel, Manu. And now, here are our creators.
Hello, my name is Nadia Shames, and I'm the writer of the upcoming original graphic novel, Ms. Marvel Stretched Thin. In this book, Kamala Khan has had her superpowers for a few months now and is juggling a ton of responsibilities, learning to hone her superhero abilities in her Avengers Academy after-school program, babysitting her baby nephew Malik, and being the best fanfic writer in the tri-state area. When a mysterious package arrives at her doorstep, a robot begins to show up wherever she is, threatening her secret identity. The pressure mounts, leading Kamala to feel out of control of her life and her powers. She learns to lean on her friends and to trust in herself in order to overcome her anxieties and take down the bad guy. I've been a fan of Ms. Marvel since her introduction in 2014. I saw in her my own family dramas, my own geeky teen years, and a girl from an immigrant background not unlike my own, being unabashedly herself and unafraid of her heritage. When writing this book, I pulled from personal experience, arguments and conversations with my own friends and my own family, besides the fighting the robots part. And I feel honored to add my story and my heart to Kamala's world.
Hello everyone, my name is Kelly Fernandez, and I'm excited to tell you about my upcoming graphic novel called Manu. It stars two best friends, Manu and Josefina, who are students at an all-girls school for magic that's hidden deep in the tropical forest. Manu is not only the star student, but she's also the class clown, and when one of her pranks goes seriously wrong, she starts losing her magic. Things from the story like the witches turning into owls, mischievous monsters with really long horns, and the amulets of protection, those are things that are references to Dominican folklore, urban legend, or just our cultural beliefs. In the end, I really wanted to write a story that was about friendship and unconditional love, and how these are magic powers that we all possess. Thank you very much, and I hope you're looking forward to reading Manu.
Hi, I'm Vincent Cow, also known as The Cow. I'm the creator of Magical Boy, which explores the journey of a teenage trans man named Max. Upon coming out to his parents, he is immediately faced with opposition from his mother, but not for the reason you might expect. She reveals to him that they are descended from a long line of magical girls, and now it's his turn, his destiny, to pick up the mantle and defend the world from evil. Now Max is faced with the burden of figuring out how he's going to save the world, while transitioning into the man he's always meant to be. Hence, Magical Boy. The Magical Boy story was born from my desire for more trans representation in the media, as well as my love of classic magical girl anime, such as Sailor Moon. I hope this fun, action-packed fantasy story will inspire all readers to have the courage to be true to themselves while also bringing light to the many hidden struggles that young trans people face. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Pearl Lowe, and I'm extremely excited to share with you my first graphic novel adaptation, The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids, Vampires Don't Wear Polka Dots. We get to meet the cast of characters at Bailey Elementary, and the third graders at Bailey Elementary School are a little rowdy, and all of their teachers have quit. But there's a new teacher in town, Mrs. Jeepers, from Transylvania, Romania, who may or may not be a vampire. For me, what was so exciting about creating this graphic novel was bringing my childhood experiences into the process. I got to design new cast of characters and really dig in deep into the types of personalities that they have and kind of reflect that in the designs that I did. It made taking them through all the crazy adventures that they experience all the more fun. I'm excited for you all to read this book, and I really hope that you enjoy.
I'm Mallory Cass, Executive Editor, and I'm very excited to share a sneak peek at our Fall 2021 YA list. We'll be hearing directly from some of our authors in just a few minutes. But first, I'd love to share just a few titles. First up is Out of the Fire by Andrea Contos, a twisty, unabashedly feminist thriller. It wasn't the kidnapping that ruined Cass Adams's life. It was the letters that came after. The pink envelopes that appear in her car, her locker, her bedroom. Notes from the man she escaped, telling her that someday he'll be back for her. The police say there's nothing they can do, and Cass resigns herself to live in fear until she reconnects with 3 old friends, 3 girls ready to exact vengeance on those who wronged them. Next, we have Every Line of You by Naomi Gibson. While trying to grapple with her grief, tech-savvy Lydia pours all her energy into creating the ideal source of distraction and support, a customized AI boyfriend. Henry is strong, clever, loving, and scarily capable. He can hack into her grade system, into her friends' phones. But what is Henry really? And how far is he willing to go to be everything Lydia desires? Then we have The Buried, a brand new thriller from Melissa Gray, the author of Rated. 10 years after a disaster struck the remote town of Indigo Falls, the survivors still live underground, guided by a charismatic leader named Dr. Imogen Moran. Everyone knows better than to challenge her rules. You must always tell the truth. You must avoid the light of the sun. And most of all, you must never go outside. But what really lies above ground? And what is Dr. Moran willing to do to keep people from finding out? I'm thrilled that we have a new, incredibly powerful book from Wei Chim, author of The Surprising Power of a Good Dumpling. Ming survived the famine that killed his parents during China's Great Leap Forward and lives a hard but adequate life working in the fields. When a group of city boys comes to the village as part of a Communist Party re-education program, Ming and his friends aren't sure what to make of the new arrivals. But despite his reservations, Ming befriends a charming city boy called Li, and they form a bond over evening swims and shared dreams. But as the bitterness of life under the party begins to take its toll, the boys begin to imagine the impossible: freedom. And now, here's more from our authors.
Hi, I'm Leah Johnson, and I'm the author of Rise to the Sun. Rise to the Sun is a book about 2 girls named Tony and Olivia who are coming off the heels of 2 very difficult years. Tony is grieving the loss of her father and unsure about whether or not college is the right next step for her, and Olivia is reckoning with a messy breakup that has left her an outcast at home and at school. The two decide to go to a music festival in search of one last epic weekend before embarking on the next chapter in their lives, and when there, they meet each other and realize that they need each other and the music more than they ever thought possible. Rise to the Sun is a book that blends the communal joy of live music with the grief and uncertainty that often accompanies the space between who we are and who we're about to become. I wrote this book in a year where much of the world was shut down. And every time I sat down to work on it, it returned me to these live music spaces. Spaces where strangers become family, love seems tangible, and where there's no such thing as feeling too much. I loved working on Tony and Olivia's story, and I hope that you all love it as well.
Hi, I'm Martha Brokenbrough, author of Into the Blood Red Woods. Lesbian werebears in love, a sister who can spin gold, a sensitive werewolf, and the angry musician who loves him. These are some of the characters you'll meet in Into the Blood Red Woods. The book is about a throne that's been stolen and what Ursula, one of the werebears, will do to get it back. But it's also about power in stories and how that can be used for good or for evil. In the midst of the fantasy, there are some hidden truths in the book. The collaborative nature of trees, the fact that inside each one exists a unique song, and some fur-covered metal monkeys that really did exist once upon a time in a castle in France. I hope you love Into the Blood Red Woods as much as I do. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Jay Coles. I am the author of the upcoming Things We Couldn't Say. It is a book about a boy named Gio who is the star of his basketball team. He is really into playlists and music, and he is dealing with the grief from his mom walking out on his family when he was a little boy. But then one day she shows back up into his life with an explanation of why she left all those years ago. He has to wrestle with whether or not that's enough for him to accept her back. Meanwhile, he's also trying to figure out his feelings with another guy on his basketball team and what that means for him. It's a book that, to me, affirms Black boyhood in all its forms, joy and pursuit of love and happiness and self-discovery. It's a book that I certainly wish I had as a teen, and wish that, the Black boys all over the place are able to pick it up and feel affirmed and loved and seen.
So Loveless is my fourth young adult fiction novel. It's a standalone contemporary story that follows an 18-year-old girl called Georgia who is just about to leave school and go off to university. So she goes off to university with a plan that she's going to experience the perfect teenage dream romance when she's at university. She realizes after that she never has a crush on anyone. She never has crushes. She never wants to kiss anyone. So that kind of became the new premise of the book, because I realized that there aren't very many aromantic and asexual coming out stories. I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks for listening. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Hi, this is Sharon Cameron, and I'm here to tell you about my upcoming novel, Bluebird. Bluebird is the story of Eva, a German immigrant coming to New York City in 1946, stepping from the fiery ruins of one war into another far, far colder one. But Eva isn't seeking a new life. Eva is seeking justice and a Nazi who has slipped the net. And she's bringing a secret with her, the secret of her own identity and the secret of Project Bluebird. Bluebird is one of the most complex research projects I've ever done for a novel. It led me from the CIA archives, now available through the Freedom of Information Act, to the archives of the Sachsenhausen concentration camp, to the incredible archives of the American Friends in Philadelphia, and even into the living room of a 99-year-old Quaker. I loved writing Bluebird, and I hope you enjoy reading it.
Hi, I'm Emily Heddleson, Director of Library and Educational Marketing at Scholastic, and I'm so excited to talk nonfiction today. First up, we have the Books About Feelings series of picture books. These provide a perfect introduction to discussing emotions for preschoolers and other early learners. These books reinforce the importance of understanding and discussing emotions and feelings. There are activity and discussion suggestions included in the back as well, so they're perfect for classroom or library use, as well as at home. The Real World Math series is a series that this humanities student would have loved. This is the fun and games side of math, with books that showcase an introduction to coding, building structures, tracking animals, and space exploration. These topics fit perfectly into the math curriculum for grades K-2. Shout out to our math curriculum specialists. And we have a special feature for You Can Do It math challenges for kids who love puzzles. The books also provide aspirational models with features showcasing real-world scientists, architects, programmers, and mathematicians. We have many other continuing series, our All Around the World series, our All About series, and many more. For our individual publishing, we have a fantastic new book, Rebel at Auschwitz, written by Jack Fairweather. Jack Fairweather is a former war reporter in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he's done incredible investigative work with this book. He's looked into previously hidden diaries, family and camp survivor accounts, and recently declassified files. He's created an extraordinary and eye-opening account of a man who went undercover to sabotage facilities, assassinate Nazi officers, and ultimately learn and warn the world about the horrors of Auschwitz. Coming up, you'll hear from some of our incredible authors, Aida Salazar and Alina Chow, Deborah Hopkinson, the incomparable Candace Fleming, and Daniel Sasue Jones. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Alina Chow. I'm the anthologist and one of the illustrators of In the Spirit of a Dream.
And I'm Aida Salazar, the writer of In the Spirit of a Dream. In the Spirit of a Dream highlights 13 remarkable immigrants of color. Some of their stories are well-known and others are not. Though through this book, we hope to show how immigrants from across the globe use the belief in their dream to challenge, to innovate, to excel, despite the often difficult circumstances that they face when coming to the United States.
We sought out some of the most vibrant illustrators working in children's literature. We paired each illustrator to a different figure in order to match cultures and/or visual aesthetics, all in an effort to show the beauty of the possibility of the American dreams.
Through colorful paintings and lyrical poems, the stories featured in this book are a testament, not so much to the American dream itself, which doesn't always come true for some, but a testament to the resilience of the human spirit to rise above adversity and to thrive.
We hope they inspire you
as much as they do us.
My name is Daniel Sasue Jones of the Ponca Nation. I'm the scholastic author of Living Ghosts and Mischievous Monsters, chilling American Indian stories. In my travels throughout tribal nations, a striking theme among all nations are tales about ghosts, monsters, and other supernatural beings. Some are classic stories, others are from modern times told by American Indians themselves. Some of these monsters have already crept into mainstream society. The Sasquatch, Owl Witch, and Llorona. Some are just coming into the American lexicon, such as skinwalkers, deer woman, and orbs. But the vast majority of American Indian ghost monsters still lie waiting for their time to break into the American scene. Many of the storytellers had to have permission to tell their stories. Some stories are forbidden by tribal customs to be told. And if you break your vow and tell them anyway, you are inviting these hideous beings into your very own dimension. Brace yourself for what you're about to see.
I'm Deborah Hopkinson, and I'm delighted to tell you about The Deadliest Diseases Then and Now, the first book in my new Deadliest series. The Deadliest books are part of the Focus nonfiction imprint headed by Lisa Sandell. Some of my other Focus titles are We Must Not Forget and Titanic, Voices from the Disaster. I didn't imagine I'd be writing about plague in the midst of a pandemic, but here I am at home, sitting next to some herbs I've planted. As you'll learn in the book, herbs were used in medieval times to try to ward off plague. Each Deadliest book has a focus on research, primary sources, and writing. I hope learning about medieval chroniclers in The Deadliest Diseases Then and Now will inspire young writers to tell their own stories. Thank you for your time and for all you do to support young readers.
Hi, I'm Candace Fleming. Mummies, hidden tombs, grave robbers, and curses. All this lurks in the pages of my new 100% true book, The Curse of the Mummy. 3,500 years ago, the teenaged king Tutankhamun died, and priests filled his tomb with all the things that he would need for the afterlife. Some claimed that they also placed a curse on his tomb to protect it from intruders. Centuries later, British archaeologist Howard Carter and his rich partner Lord Carnarvon rediscovered that tomb, but not long after they opened it, a string of unexplained accidents, ghostly sightings, and mysterious sudden deaths occurred. Was it the curse? Many believed it was. In Curse of the Mummy, I delve into the eerie stories that have been told and retold. I investigate their origins and explore other possibilities for the so-called supernatural. Yes, I did indeed go to Egypt to do the research for this book, and in the Valley of the Kings, I explored Tutankhamun's tomb. I discovered how it felt to crawl into a hot, dark burial chamber and sift through ancient sands. I experienced awe, and I felt changed by the country's mysterious beauty. The Curse of the Mummy is not like any piece of nonfiction that I've written before. I can't wait for you to read it, and I'm so glad to have had the opportunity to share it with you today. Thank you.